So he says French or Caricon, can't decide. So as a player that I like the French, like I love the French, this is my favorite opening all the time. I dabbled with the Caricon recently because all my students play the Caricon, so I want to know. It's like I recommend if you're going to higher level. Corey says, um, Corey says, I feel like I can sometimes be too dependent on drawing arrows online. We can't draw arrows in real life, so I think I'd be advantage over the board. Thoughts? Um, okay, you're too dependent on drawing arrows online. So because you can't draw arrows in real life, that'll be a disadvantage of the board. I think that mindset, for my take, I think that you can not think about having to draw arrows, right, can't you?
Yeah, it's you actually you don't want to draw arrows in your own games. If you're watching, it's more of an instruction thing or trying to look at something if you're looking at tactics, but even then that messes with your calculation because you cannot do it over the board. So you want to try to not draw arrows unless honestly you're streaming or like you're looking at something in depth where you just want to draw some arrows. That's cool, but lay off of it unless you stream it.
Exactly. So for this case, for the symbol, I'm just doing for the audience, my future viewers for this video, streaming like a VOD, they want to see my analysis and my thought process. So this is appropriate for the arrows, but if your own game with not streaming, don't draw arrows if you can help it. I think that's what you're saying. So you're not going to be dependent on drawing two arrows. So just not basically the answer is don't be dependent on arrows with your own normal games. So hopefully that answered your questions. Go. Okay, so another question from the Vivas Leo. So he says, what books do you recommend to improve 1800 to 2000 rated? So I think that for me, for my take, I'd say that for endgames, I like to do Dorvis's endgame manual. But overall, there's a Perfecto Chess. It's a really good book. I recommend. I think it's like a. So for me, it's like Jeremy Silman books. Dorvis's endgame game manual is also like Perfecto Chess. So that's my take. So what do you think, Canty and Zibbit?
I agree. Devereski's really good, and also Jeremy Silman's in-game course. You also got Reassess Your Chess. It's very good. Those combined are extra strong. Also, Forcing Chess Moves as a tactics book. It's only one I've been using.
Mm-hmm. So, Zibbit?
Yeah. The book I liked, I don't know if it's probably out of print. It's Road to Chess Improvement by Yermolinsky. I really like that. I like Improve Your Chess Now by T-Style. It's also very good. But those are very old. I don't know if you can get them anymore.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, okay, another one against my opponent. It says, what's your opinion against on the Stafford Gambit? So it's not my wheelhouse, but Canty.
I don't play it, but I think, Rosen plays it. And Rosen has success with stronger players with it. So I think it's good if you know what you're doing. You just got to know what you're doing. That's really it.
Yeah, so my coach Eugene Perlstein actually dedicated a YouTube video on how to refute the Stafford Gambit, how to play against it.
I just saw that in Chess Opening Explained.
Yeah, so it's an interesting take, but depends on who you play. It's like use it wisely. But that's all I can say.
Yeah, definitely use it wisely.
Definitely. The highest rated player in the Simul again. So he says French or Caricon, can't decide. So as a player that I like the French, like I love the French, this is my favorite opening all the time. I dabbled with the Caricon recently because all my students play the Caricon, so I want to know. It's like I recommend if you're going to higher level, French. But if you're just starting out, it doesn't matter what's level. Caricon is all around good. But French, if you have time to study. But if you don't have time to study, Caricon. So I was actually playing against really strong players against with the Caracan. I was able to easily draw and easily beat them with a Caracan, even though I don't know any theory as much as the Caracan as I should in the French. But basically, it's easy to pick up the Caracan even if you're not a seasoned Caracan player. So
Yeah, probably the Caracan is easier to learn, but I think both openings, like up to my level, it's all good. I mean, until you're trying to like Kanti's probably going for norms and stuff. So then maybe you have to think about, what you want to go for. But
Yeah, style-wise. That's why I don't use French. Actually, I was going to use French, but only in a tactical version. I try to make every opening a part of tactical. And French does have that in Gary's course, Lifetime Repertoire French. So he has some tactical lines in there. It's pretty sharp. I was like, wow. It was between the French and the Najdorf. And then I chose the Najdorf based off of my coach and knowing things. And I'm like, okay, this is more me. I'm more familiar. I have studied more lines. I grew up a French player, actually. And then I got to 1800, switched to E5, and then went to C5 at 2200. So I remember French was a very nice time in my life. But I'm like, I want tactics and I want sharp and dynamic stuff. And I have time and I like studying deep theory.
the last question from the guy that we've seen before. So last question, I promise. Any Sicilian to learn easily, he says.
Easily? Wow.
I don't know. C5E6? I don't know.
You got the pin variation. Yeah, that's like C5E6. You can actually Google that. You can Google pin variation Sicilian. And Yasser Sirawan got a free video actually on YouTube. It's also on Chessable too if you don't have an account. It's a pin variation. It's pretty simple. It's like 3-4 lines. You do it all the time. Play E6, bring the bishop out and pin the knight on C3. And then try to play D5.
Yeah.
It's called the pin variation. Very easy. But that's it. No other Sicilian is probably easy. Like there's no way to put that. No other easy way.
Yeah.
Maybe the O'Kelly where you play A6, E4, C5, knight F3, A6.
Right. And take and play A6. Yeah, because you can play so many different ways that way.
Yeah.
Very flexible.
But I guess if White just plays, even playing C3 there is probably just good for White.
Yeah.
Delayed Sicil for the kill.
Still for the kill, maybe you already know. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Ready. So this guy, is chess these days getting much more difficult with weaker players being able to book up relatively deep using chess just base. I'm thinking of it. And
you probably meant chessable.
Yes, chessable. Yeah, chess base. Chessable. Chessable. Yeah, chessable.
It's like a typo.
Yeah, typo. Chess base or chessable. Chessable.
Chess bail.
Chess bail.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. Because like back when I played more, you got away with knowing a lot less, I think, in your lines. But these days you can play somebody like 16, 1700 and he knows all these deep lines, so you have to have something ready,
That's right, bro. That's exactly right. That's right. There's no other way around it. That's correct. They can prep like GMs, and that's why you have to take them out of book or play something different, tactical or more positional to test their strength outside the book.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Ivan says a question. So chess. All right. So what about chess as being 99% tactics? So you probably heard the quote about that. Chess is 99% tactics.
Yeah, I'm a tactics player, so I definitely believe that. But no, I mean, I think it's less, but I do know that you can get very strong. I didn't know much opening theory and got up to 2200. So over the board, I just knew E4, and I had a lot of experience over the board playing E4. Then I had the French against a lot of stuff, and then I studied a little bit of black. Like I studied barely any opening theory and got up to 2200. And then after 2200 is when I started studying, and now I'm starting to see the results over the board. So 2200 plus is when I really started studying theory. But tactics can get you very, very far and very, very fast. Very, very fast.
Yeah. I agree. It's a huge part, but not 99%. Like you still have to know, some things about, positional stuff, exploiting weaknesses and end games. So 99% is a bit much, but of course tactics, huge part of
Yeah,
chess.
progressing fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, E3. So go to the question. So, all right, tactics board for beginners, 1600 strength. My recommendation would be, let's see, there's a lot of tactics books. So the best one is maybe it's like there's a 1001 chess tactics and combinations book. So that's my thoughts. What do you guys think?
Yeah, to modern, I would just go with Puzzle Rush and Puzzle Storm.
Yeah, same actually. I think he's still like doing tactics on chess.com or Rugi Chess is
Yeah.
just fine.
Yeah, but I tend to go with these easy ones because then I get confident about my tactical abilities, but they are actually trash.
Yeah.
So what you
my
can,
levels, at least.
yeah, right. And what you can do if you want to really practice it over the board, you can set up the position if you have like a board next to you. Like you set up the position and try to solve it there, and then only then make the move on the website.
Definitely.
I think that would probably, be a good way of training.
Definitely. So the
Yeah, it's a good training.
Yeah, so the for short answer is to forget the books. Go to chess.com and tactics train. And those things like what openings are good for attacking players?
Then probably to start with e4,
Uh-huh.
and from the black side maybe you can try the Sicilian.
Yeah. If you play against d4, what do you do as an attacking player?
Maybe King's Indian or Grunfeld.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. So yeah, look for Grunfeld if you're playing against d4 and Sicilian against e4. So those are the two major options, and you can play them well in just attacking. So,
No, obviously some openings are like other openings can also be sharp. Basically, it depends on what your opponent does.
I
But
see,
King's
yeah.
Indian is sharp for sure.
Definitely, yeah. It's my board again. I have a question here. What is a sound attack versus defensive versus d4? I have tried England Gambit with e5, but I don't think that is very sound.
Maybe Benoni or Benko are good openings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically, if you're here in the chat, just Benoni and Benko are good openings for that playing style.
Yeah, for attacking reporter, I think both are good.